Right now, some growing concern over attacks by so-called killer bees. In just the last month alone, there have been several attacks. On Monday in Phoenix, 3 people, including 2 children, were attacked by Africanized bees. And nearby, a swarm attacked 3 dogs. One of the dogs died. Last week in California, bees attacking 2 people in a garden. The man suffered 80 stings, the woman 100 stings. And in Texas, an aggressive swarm attacked a landscaper, stinging the man dozens of times and killing 4 dogs. Now, one reason we're seeing more of these kinds of attacks could be the increasing range of the so-called killer bees in this country. Back in 1990, the bees' habitat was limited to the very southern tip of Texas. But check out 2009, a dramatic increase in their range, moving further north and into the southwest and the southeast. Dr. Eric Musson is a honeybee expert at the University of California, Davis. And why are these bees migrating so far from where they used to be?
The anticipation was that the Africanized bees eventually would make what you and I would call a kind of a smiley face across the country, with about the southern third of the country having them, and then on both sides going further up the coast.
What does it mean, Africanized? Why, when we talk about these bees, obviously not all of these bees are as dangerous as the ones that we cited in the introduction. How does a bee become Africanized?
Well, Africanized bees were the result of an experiment when they took a European race of Apis mellifera, combined it with a African race, and the whole idea was in Brazil to get the temperate climate bees, the ones that we keep, out of the hammock drinking lemonade out into the food that was abundant there and make a honey crop, and they weren't doing very well. So the hybrid was put together to see if they could increase honey production, and hopefully they would mellow out a little bit, because our bees are significantly more mellow than the African bees. The problem is they did get more honey, but the hybrid vigor, if you want to call it that, brought out a real strong defensive behavior.
So how do we tell the difference? What should people be on the lookout for if they're having lemonade on their hammock and they see some bees? When do you know you've got a real problem on your hands?
Well, the unfortunate thing is that Africanized honeybees and European honeybees look so similar that you can't tell them apart, and quite a bit of the time even the Africanized bees aren't that hard to deal with, but occasionally, particularly if for whatever reason they become defensive, they can become extremely defensive and sting many more times than a European honeybee colony would.
Wow. Dr. Musson, real quickly, we saw the maps from over a 10-year span. Do you expect this problem to get worse in the coming years as well?
Well, the increasing expansion is going to continue. Some people have said they'll get all the way to Canada. I don't know that there's anything to stop them, but I don't believe it's going to be that bad. I think they're just going to sort of fill out that happy face I talked about before.
Dr. Eric Musson is an expert at UC Davis, joining us live today. Thank you very much for your expertise, Doc.
You're very welcome.